Welcome to podcasts recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
The Friends Band, we love them. Yay. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all, looking so fine. So what we want to do right now is grab those green sheets out of your program and stand up, and we're going to sing together. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
Thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful song. Sacred love is all that you are. How true is that? So welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living and to our celebration service. We are a science of mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcomed here. All we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Nadine Muller. I serve as one of the licensed practitioners on the Center's ecclesiastical team. It is my honor to welcome you here. If you're new to the Center and joining us in person, there are welcome packets available on the table located in the back of the sanctuary. There you go. And for our global audience, the same information is available on our website at cslportland.org under the About Us menu tab. Either way, you'll find a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. Also on our website, you can sign up for weekly emails that detail all of our events, register for classes, and even get a free gift on your birthday. So now for a few announcements. Our Sunday service is in person here at the Center and on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. You can also get the message presented later in the week on YouTube via podcast. Our Wednesday night meditation is on Zoom at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And this week, licensed practitioner Sylvia Kearns is leading the meditation with the title, How to Keep Your Cup Overflowing. We also have online Zoom groups for our Social Justice Book Club and our 12-step program for women. You can read more about them and get the Zoom links online. And mark your calendars for 2 essential Thanksgiving events. Next Sunday, November 20th, is our Bring a Friend Sunday, so please bring a friend. And it's a potluck, so bring a dish. And it's also a youth church preview. And bring a child, bring a gift, and bring your checkbooks, because we're going to have a silent auction. So make sure you bring your checkbooks. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful gifted people in this center, and they have donated their art, their creativity, and their selves to all of us. So the night before Thanksgiving is our annual gratitude service. Join us at 7 p.m., either in person or online, to share your gratitude for the year. And also, mark your calendars for 2 events related to Reverend Larry's retirement. We're going to have a town hall meeting on December 4th. And the town hall meeting is for every member of the church and anybody who wants to attend. And it will explain the process of the interim minister and how the board is dealing with the transition. Basically, we want everybody to be there. We want your questions. We want your curiosity. We want to be as transparent as possible. And we absolutely want your input. Reverend Larry's retirement party is on December 10th. And that will be a vegetarian potluck in honor of Reverend Larry. It will be held here in the sanctuary. So please bring a dish. You can RSVP online. The invitations will be going out this week, and there should be a link set up sometime this week on our website. Our flowers are courtesy of Kat Jacobs. They're absolutely gorgeous. And today our special music features Ken Brewer and Jim Solberg on vocals from our wonderful Friends Band. Today's message, Our Unlimited Capacity, is by Reverend Larry King. So sit back and relax, because I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
So let's just take a deep breath together as we open our hearts and go inside. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
And as we go inside, I know that there is one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence. It is the silent power behind all things. It is love, life, order, harmony, peace, and beauty. It is the eternal good, real, infinite, and absolute. It is the architecture and the architect. It is infinite potential, always expanding, always creating, always good and very good. It is God. And this one experiences itself as itself through its multitude of creations, each a unique individualized expression with all the qualities of God, yet all are held within that one, unified, whole, perfect, and complete. I know that this is true for me, and I know that this is true for each person within the sound of my voice and beyond. And so I speak my word for and about the infinite potential of life. Every moment is an opportunity for choice. Knowing that God co-creates life right now, I choose what is right, what is good, and what is for the highest and best of all. I don't need to know the outcome. I only need to know the next step. I listen and hear the gentle whisper of Spirit as it opens new pathways of opportunity, love, and joy. I know there is nothing between me and that which is best. The law of good is operating in my life now and in your life now. I'm so grateful for this truth, for the knowledge that I am always one with Spirit, guided, directed, and held in love. I release my word into the action and activity of the law, which always says yes. Yes, my beloved, it is done unto you as you believe. I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. And so in this moment of silence, I ask that you go inside and connect with that one love, that one Spirit, that pure potentiality that is all there is.
This is a song about gratitude. There's so many things to be thankful for. I'm thankful for you all. You're my family, everyone. So, here's a tune from Eric Bibb. Many things that you do in the course of a day make this home I share with you a place I'll always stay. Singing joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. Joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. This fine restless feeling that makes it hard to sleep got me staring at the ceiling, count my blessings instead of sheep. Singing joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. Joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. Some days wish I could slow down this crazy merry-go-round. Mostly suits me fine, having lots to do. One day, guess I'll retire, sit by the fire, sing old songs like Mother with you. Them things that you do in the course of the day make this home I share with you a place I'll always stay. Singing joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. Joy is my wine, love is my food, sweet gratitude, the air I breathe. Thank you.
So I got here a little early, and I swear they're playing all my favorites today. Thank you for that. I would like to start today by playing a little game with you all. And the game it's a simple one. It's called God's Good is My Good. And so I'm going to invite you all, when you feel called, to yell out something that you really love about your life. And then we're all going to respond, God's good is my good. Okay, got it? So who wants to yell out something? We're coming. God's, so friends, absolutely. So God's good is my good. 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 God's good is my good.
Retirement.
Well, God's good is my good. It's true. God's good is my good. God's good is my good.
Brooklyn Center.
God's good is my good. A couple more?
Growth and opportunity.
God's good is my good. Okay, thank you all. So, could we ever answer differently? Oh, okay. Sean says, well, we could, but we'd be wrong. One of the things I think that I treasure about this teaching is that we do know that all good comes from God, and it's unlimited. You really couldn't have come up with something that we wouldn't have said, God's good is my good. And conversely, there's nothing that exists in the infinity of God that also couldn't be your good. And I want to zone in on that for just a minute, because I think sometimes we have faulty notions that God is kind of like the Amazon warehouse. And unless we type the order in just perfectly, it's going to be delivered somewhere else. And I want to reassure you, there's a feature of God, there's an important quality of God that says that can't be so. And that quality is that you are also part of God. And so if you think of it, why would God deny itself any particular good? I like to think of it as Christmas when you're a kid. Remember Christmas when you were a kid and how eager the adults were to give you presents? I mean, of course, it was fun getting the presents, but did you notice how it just lit up the adults? That they were all there to see your expression, to see whether you liked the toy or the clothes or whatever it is. And I swear to gosh, the adults in the room had equal fun in the giving that the children did in the receiving. Well, that's God. It is God's absolute good pleasure to give you love, to give you peace, to give you joy, to give you all the good stuff, because it's giving to its own family. It's giving to its own self in a way. You are part of Spirit, and it loves supporting you. Today I'm going to talk about our unlimited capacity. And first we have to recognize God's unlimited capacity. There is nothing that is good outside of Spirit. Spirit has it all. In fact, sometimes in the science of mind, we simply say God is every person, every place, everything, every situation, every is Spirit. And so, of course, that encompasses anything that you could ever need or want or visualize or have. And so then the question becomes, and where I want to spend a little bit more time talking today, is if God is the unlimited riches of the universe, and if I am part of that, and it's God's good pleasure to send it my way, so what's the problem? Yeah, a couple of you are laughing. Catherine, one of our licensed practitioners, says, well, there could be something in the receiving going on here. And I do want to talk about that, and I think a good place to start is with a joke. So an old man was walking on the beach with his only grandson when a giant wave crashed on shore and swept the boy out to sea. Well, the man looks up to heaven and says, "Oh Lord, this is my only grandson. How can you take him away from me like this? My son will not understand my daughter-in-law. She will surely die of grief." But the fellow remembers his scripture and decides to ask God to return the boy. He gets on his knees and prays. Suddenly, another wave comes by and deposits the boy right at the old man's feet. The grandfather looks up to heaven again and says, "Hey, wait a minute. When you took him, he had a hat." And so what's with the hat? Why is it in an infinite universe we'd be worried about a hat? See, I think we're so used to getting what we already have that there's something in us that can't quite stretch to open our arms wider to receive a little bit more. I think there's two parts to this receiving thing that Catherine talked about. One of them is we're kind of shy. We're kind of used to what we already have. We're kind of thinking that the same old is good enough. And I would suggest you're partially right. You are partially right. If you are really satisfied with your life in all ways, good. You know, we talked a few weeks ago about sufficiency, and that's the very nature of it. If you're grateful for what you have and don't see room for improvement, sweet, right? Sign me up. But I bet most of us could imagine a life with a little bit more love in it, a little bit more joy in it, a little bit more freedom in it. I think most of us have a sense that there could be improvements. And so one of the things we need to do is figure out how we can receive those improvements. There's another thing at work here, though, too. And I'll illustrate it by a story of one of my foster kids. Some of you know that for about a 10-year period, I had a number of emergency foster care teenagers. And one of my teenagers, it was a very interesting young woman. So she came to stay with me in the middle of the night. And so social workers dropped her off at like 11 o'clock at night. And so I'm showing her bedroom and just getting things set up for her so she'd feel comfortable. And I started to go up to bed, and she said, well, wait a minute. She says, "I've never slept in a bed before. I don't know that I'm going to be comfortable." And of course, my initial reaction is just, my heart just, oh my God, she's never slept in a bed before. So what would be comfortable? Well, can I sleep on the couch in the living room? That's usually where I sleep. It's like, okay, all right, we can do that. And then the next morning, we were working on meals, right? Because what I discovered about teenagers, they're often very picky about what they will eat and what they won't eat. And I thought, well, at least the first few days here, I'm going to, make something that she would like to eat. And so she was telling me what her normal diet was. It required French fries and some kind of tomato sauce. And that was like all she ate. It was basically fast food. She would do pizza because it had tomato sauce on it. She would do spaghetti because it had tomato sauce on it. And when I asked her about vegetables, she said, well, tomatoes are a vegetable. And what was interesting and why this story is appropriate here is she couldn't conceive of her life in a different way. Now we can, right? We can say, oh my gosh, she's missing out on half of life. She could have a wonderful bed to sleep in. She could envision her life filled with fun and different things to eat. And of course, those weren't the only two things in her life that were a little bit, shall we say, depressed. But she couldn't see that. And so I'm asking you, could there be things in your life that you can't see also things that are missing that you don't even know about, pleasures that exist that you haven't even envisioned for yourself. And of course, that's the key for receiving God's blessings. We have to be able to envision it. We have to be able to accept it. We have to be able to understand it. And so I think there are two things at work here. We've covered them briefly. Two things at work here that keep that unlimited supply of Spirit from coming to us. So one is we're shy about it. We really think that we're undeserving. We really think that somehow God's too busy maybe to worry about my needs. And the second one is I can't imagine it. I can only imagine what I have in my life right now. So how do we expand on these? We can actually work on these issues of expanding our cup. It's interesting that in the opening, the idea of our cup running over was brought up. The idea of what kind of a cup do we bring to the universe? And when we're in that same old mode, well, we just bring the same cup to the universe every time, right? It's just who we are. I can accept this much good in terms of love. Any more than that, I feel a little uncomfortable. I can only accept this much in terms of success. Any more than that, I feel a little uncomfortable. I can only, right? Aren't we like that? We kind of have a thermostat, a same oldness. So first of all, we need to stretch our imagination. How many out here would say you're daydreamers? See, I remember in school, weren't we tagged as not so good if we were daydreamers, right? I would like to suggest that daydreaming is a wonderful thing. I would like to suggest that using your imagination to improve your life is exactly the right place to start, because you're pushing the boundary of what already exists. When you're daydreaming, you're thinking about, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to go on that tour of Europe, or wouldn't it be fabulous for this new job promotion, or whatever it is. You're imagining yourself in the future having and doing and experiencing things that are beyond what you've done and experienced right now. That's the first step, right? That's beginning to see that there is something out there that would be delightful. And then I would say, let's start planning for it. Let's start doing the research. Let's not have it be a tantalizing thing out there that will never come true. Let's start taking steps in that direction. Let's start imagining not only what it is, but that it is mine, that I have it, that the experience is mine. And then in the real world, let's begin taking steps in that direction. If it's a tour of Europe you want, well, you ought to start researching where you'd want to go. If it's a fabulous new job, maybe there's some training you need to get that new job, right? We're going to take the steps in that direction so that the dream comes closer and closer, and suddenly it is not a daydream anymore. It is your life. There's something else, though, that I want to talk about. Out in the world there's this thing called the law of attraction. And in fact, we've talked about it on Sunday before. The idea that the vibe that we put out, the energy that we put out, is returned to us. So that's, I guess, one way of looking at the law of attraction. But have you also heard, with regards to the law of attraction, birds of a feather flock together, that the same attracts the same? This has something to do with our ability to have more in our life as well. Why? Because we're surrounded by people that typically believe what we believe and no more and no less. And so you might find yourselves surrounded by people and ideas that also want to keep you being able to receive just what you've been receiving. People who will say, well, you can't expect that much from so-and-so, Or how do you imagine that a job like that will support you, right? You'll have the people around you that tend to believe what you do. Sometimes they'll even believe more in lack and limitation than you do. And then you really have some issues, right? If you listen too much to what's going on the outside. So the invitation here is to listen to what's going on the inside. If you have a dream, it's your dream. You do not need to allow anyone else to put a puncture in it, right? Let's not allow the oomph, the energy, the air to be taken out of your daydream, your vision of the future. You know, you can just nod and smile when people tell you that you've got pie in the sky, right? The truth is within. No one can take that away from you. The last tip that I have, though, is, and this gets us out of that idea of birds of a feather flock together, what if you choose to flock somewhere else? And here's my tip for you. If you want to see progress in your own life, find someone who has already made that progress. And most likely, they're not in your circle of friends, right? The law of attraction will tend to say that your immediate set of friends and family probably do not have those experiences that you wish to find. So find a mentor. If you want to go on that excursion to Europe, find someone who's been, talk to them about it. Get jazzed up by someone who has already gone those steps ahead of you. If you want to make progress in your business, if you're thinking of starting a small business, talk to someone who's successful at that. I had a woman, a friend of mine not too long ago that was entering the dating pool again. And she says, I just don't really even know what to expect. She said, and I'm a little worried that my idea of what love is like, my idea of what being in the process of dating and in the process of romance and in the process of maybe finding a special someone, I'm not sure that I've ever had that before, so I'm not sure what I'm exactly looking for. And what was my advice? Hang out with people that are successful in that way. Have you thought of that? Find someone that has already the kind of relationship that is super intriguing and seems super healthy to you, and ask them what it's like. We don't have to figure out all this stuff on our own. We can actually use a mentor in any area of your life. Now, I know some of you are like resisting this a little bit because it admits, if you think about it, you're going to have to go up to someone and say, I really admire this aspect of your life. Would you teach me how to do it? And it is vulnerable. I will give you that. It kind of makes you feel like, well, you know, I'm not a real adult. I don't know what love is. Or I'm not a real business person because I don't know what that next step up the ladder is. I got to tell you, though, people will be absolutely charmed by that. If you go up to anyone who is successful in some area in their life and you say to them, I really admire your marriage. I really love what you have done with this business. You've taken this business from nothing to really the next level. If you approach anyone with that mentality, they will have their pants charmed off. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. You know what I mean, though, right? It's literally all their defenses are completely down. All their defenses are completely down, and they will be more than willing to help you. So let me go back here and review a little bit about what we're talking about. So the idea of seeking a mentor who has more experience than you do. If you want more love in your life, find someone that has the kind of relationship that you admire. If you want more success in your life, find someone that has the kind of success that you want. If you want to go back to school, find someone who has recently made that journey, who can give you some pointers about what that's like. Any area in your life where you wish to see improvement, you're not necessarily apt to see those steps yourself because you haven't taken them. find someone who has taken them. Okay, so back to the unlimited nature of the universe. How do we make our cup bigger? First, we have to imagine our cup bigger. We talked about using our daydreaming ability. We talked about using as a mentor someone whose cup is already bigger. But I also have one more suggestion or one more tip. You know, God, in addition to wanting us to have more good in our life, also wants us to have more fun in our life. This is an aspect of God that we don't talk about usually in that way. We use the fancy term of joy, which I love, but there's something in spirit that actually guides us toward that which is fun and joyous and pleasurable. And so I want to ask you, have you ever thought about making a plan for joy in your life? Have you actually written down some of the many things that might bring you joy? It's maybe a way of inviting that sense of daydreaming to you. Here's your homework for this week. You're going to get out a piece of blank paper and a pencil and write. You might think of it as a bucket list, but I like to think of it as a joyful list. Write down at least 25 things that would bring you greater joy than what you have today. Some of you are giving me the eye, oh my God, 25 things? It actually won't be that hard, I bet. I bet it won't be that hard when you sit down and actually do it. But that's the homework. 25 things that would bring you greater joy into your life. And then, what have we learned today? First of all, I can apply research to it, right? I can start looking at, well, what would that be like if I don't know, what would bring some examples of what would bring you joy? Dancing. All right. So dancing would bring you joy. How do we expand that cup? Well, first of all, we ought to know what kind of dancing is available in town, right? Maybe we'd go on the internet and say, dance studios near me. I think people type in such things into their Googleizers, right? So research, right? And then perhaps you find someone in the dance community to be your mentor. I'm just starting out, or I'm an intermediate dancer. You know, what has your path been like? Did you need to take classes, or did you just go to some kind of, the Norse Hall on dance night and someone taught you? Or what was that like? You can do research. You can find a mentor. So yeah, let's get out our 25 things list and then begin making progress. So today we explored a couple ideas. First of all, the universe, God, is unlimited. And God's good is my good, right? Let's say that one more time. Let's go back to the beginning here for a minute. God's good is my good. So if you can envision it, you can have it. If you can hold it in your mind and know that it's true for you, if you can embody that good, if you can provide some details around it enough to where you'd say, yeah, that's it, then that's the first step towards having it and experiencing it. We also talked about some ways of greater embodying that, of making our cup bigger. We talked about using our imagination or daydreaming. We talked about asking someone else who has maybe gone to the next level in whatever that is. What was your experience like? And I'm going to give you one more tip for luxury, and this comes from our previous minister, Reverend Lynn Johnson. She always invited people during Prosperity Month, and I would too, by the way, to notice the fanciest hotel in town. And your definition of that might be slightly different. Hers was the Benson Hotel downtown. And she said, if you want to know what luxury is, just go downtown, go to the Benson, sit in the lobby, because the lobby is gorgeous, have a Perrier, and just feel the vibe of opulence. The whole key here, as she described it, was opening your heart to greater good. It's less of a mind thing and more of a heart thing. Can you open your heart to that vibe of love, that vibe of luxury, that vibe of joy? Rather than going to the Benson, for me, I go out to the farm where we got our dogs and play with puppies. Right? What luxury to be mobbed by puppies, right? It's like, oh my gosh, my heart is so open. So it doesn't, money, okay, whatever, but what do you want more in your life? Is it love? Is it joy? Is it fun? Is it abundance? Seek out a spot where that happens regularly and sign yourself up for it. Enjoy yourself. Open that heart. Find the pleasure in life. It is God's good pleasure to give you the keys to the kingdom. There is good for you, and you shall have it. So I want to close today. Actually, Kristen, would you mind coming up and helping me with this? This is something that we've done before, and I thought we ought to do it again today. Just call and response. So I'll call and you and everyone will respond. Yes. All right, sounds great. So good and more good is mine.
Good and more good is mine.
And ever increasing good is mine.
And ever increasing good is mine.
There is no limit to the good that is mine.
There is no limit to the good which is mine.
Everywhere I go, I see this good.
Everywhere I go, I see this good.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I experience it.
I experience
It crowds itself around me.
It crowds itself around me.
And it flows through me.
And it flows through me.
It expresses itself in me.
It expresses itself in me.
And it multiplies itself around me.
And it multiplies itself around me.
Good and more good is mine.
Good and more good is mine.
Let us pray. There is one power, one presence, one life, one love. There's only this one thing. And as we have talked about today, it is infinite. All the good that can ever be imagined within that one wonderful thing that we call God or Spirit. It is the source of all. And it gladly gives of itself. Truly, God's good is my good. And as I open my heart, I recognize that I can hold up a bigger cup, that I can use my imagination to fuel that opening of the heart and that greater receiving of all the good that is mine. And as it is true for me, it is true for everyone. Each person here and beyond has that ability to open the heart, open the mind, to allow our daydreams to turn into something more than just a dream through God's good pleasure. So let us on this day cast aside any thoughts of lack or limitation. We are worthy of the good life. The good life is available to us. And on this day, we accept it. The good life is mine. And so in gratitude for this certainty, I release this prayer into the activity and action of the law. I release it on behalf of everyone. Each of us has good to be received, and we shall accept it. I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much for being here today. What a pleasure to have you here today. Now is our time of conscious giving. I invite you to take your gift or your tithe. If you'd like, you can hold it in your hand. Those of you online, please join us in our offering. You can go to cslportland.org/donate and make an online donation. We also have text to tithe. If you go to our website, you might be surprised or pleased to discover you can use your phone to actually text us a donation as well. But for now, please repeat after me. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Would the ushers please begin receiving the gifts?
More than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more, much more than enough, more than enough. I have more than enough. I have more than enough. There is more than enough. More, much more than enough, 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 more, much more than enough, more, much more than enough.
Too much.
Just gotta be grateful. It's a most important thing. So grateful. Reason why I sing, let's all be grateful. And sing a pure and happy song. Trials and tribulations surely come my way, but I'm still grateful to know there's a better day, and I'm truly grateful to be moving right along. Sometimes it might not look like I got it so good. I don't always do things exactly like I should, but a smile and a kind word are not so hard to do. Who knows? Just might work for you. Just decide to be grateful. It's a most important thing. So grateful. You can hear him when you sing, and just be grateful. Sing a pure and happy song. Trials and tribulations will surely come your way, but just be grateful to know there's a better day, and be grateful just to be moving right along. Sometimes it might feel just like there's too much to do, but that's just why you're here. The universe needs you. Living, loving, laughing. It's time for it all. Now really, aren't you glad you got the call? Time to be grateful. It's a most important thing. So grateful. It's the reason why we sing, let's all be grateful. And sing a pure and happy song. Trials and tribulations will surely come our way, so let's be grateful. To know there's a better day, just be grateful. Just keep moving right along. Let's all be grateful. Just to be moving right along. Hey, Thank you.
Thank you. What lovely music we had today. What a blessing. Thank you. Yeah, come on up, Charlotte. On behalf of the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, I receive these gifts with great love. I know that our vision of a world that works for everyone and our mission of personal empowerment, I know that as we pay our bills, as we make gifts to other nonprofits, this circle of love expands in the world. I'm grateful for this. I let it be, and so it is. Just a couple reminders before we do our benediction. So next Sunday is our potluck, and it is a Bring a Friend Sunday. Somebody asked me, I guess it was a couple months ago now, so how do you grow a congregation? You know, do you put ads in the newspaper? Do you go door to door and put things on people's doorknobs? All of the research suggests that people come to church because they've been invited. Personal invitation. That literally taking ad in the newspaper, some other form of advertising, absolutely useless. So when we do have our Bring a Friend Sundays, please consider that a way of sharing the love, introducing this teaching to new people. We pick our Bring a Friend Sundays in particular because we kind of show off a little bit, so you don't have to do any work. Believe me, the potluck next week and the fabulous music and message and everything that we have planned would delight your friends and family. So let's pay attention to the Bring a Friend Sunday aspect of it. Invite a coworker, invite a family member, invite a neighbor. We're really a pretty friendly group, honestly. I don't think anyone won't feel welcomed here. And it is one of the ways, perhaps the only way, that our congregation does grow. They've done some recent statistics. 10% of new people come because they saw it on the internet. So there are those people who, Google spirituality in Portland and, listen to one of my podcasts. There's probably 10% of the folks in the room right now that found us that way. But the other 90% were invited here. And so please help us out with that. It'll be fun. Well, and it just makes things more fun with more people. So take me up on that. I also want to remind people of prayer requests and the availability of making a prayer request. If you're online, cslportland.org, at the bottom of every web page is a link for submitting a prayer request. Automatically goes out to 12 licensed practitioners. They all become part of you become part of their daily prayer practice, so take advantage of that. Also, Sandy there in the back of the room is holding up a prayer request card. If you're here in person, you can fill that out, and again, that gets distributed out to all of our licensed practitioners, and we begin praying for you. And then finally, we'll have a practitioner or two up here on the apron of the stage after the closing song. If you'd like a quick in-person prayer, just come on up. It's our honor to pray for you and whatever's going on in your life where you can use some help. But for now, let's stand and do our benediction. I invite you just to repeat after me. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, I expect it. And I am it. Just the way that I am. Please know with me that you are never alone. If at any time during the day or night, if forgetfulness might creep upon you, I invite you to go within on that altar of the Most High. Recognize that you are loved. And in gratitude for this certainty, I let it be, and so it is.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am very grateful for this Friends Band who provided our music today. Wasn't it great? Ken Brewer, Jim Solberg, and Don Schultz.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. That we rest in God and say Amen.
If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We have inspirational services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our online listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.